Drop a like on this video within the next 5 seconds or have bad luck for the rest of 2021. I wouldn't risk it. What is up, guys? It's your boy Badgeplug, and today we got a very important video. What is my first NBA 2K22 build going to be? First, though, I want you guys to let me know what you think you're going to be creating your first build on 2K22. If you have a certain play style you go with every single year or something like that, just comment it down below. Now, look, every year, my first build on 2K is going to be something where I think I'm going to win the most games consistently, the most efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Then later on in the year, we make some fun builds and try out all that stuff. But right away, almost everybody goes for a build that's going to help them win games. You want to learn the game, and the best way to learn the game is to have a good build. It's much harder to learn the game if you have a trash build. Now, in 2K21, none of us really expected for the best build in the game to be a 6'1" player with tiny bits of defense and basically just an offensive juggernaut. In 2K20, there was multiple best builds in the game, but it all came down to very similar aspects for almost each and every one. The playmaking glass cleaner, the two-way slashing playmaker, all of those best builds had Hall of Fame playmaking and Hall of Fame defensive badges. We figured out that you don't need Hall of Fame shooting badges. You literally did not need them. If you had a 65 3-point rating, you could green all day as long as you knew how to shoot. So there was no reason to have that category Hall of Fame when you could have Hall of Fame quick first step or Hall of Fame defense, which actually matters much more than the Hall of Fame shooting badges. Well, in 2K22, we don't necessarily know how the game is going to be, but every single year, I want to go into the game with an idea, with a basis of what I want to do. And then, of course, it's not probably going to be my end of the year build. It could be similar to that, just like it was on 2K20. If you guys don't remember, my first build, literally first build on 2K20 was the slashing playmaker. Then at the end of the year, the best build was the two-way slashing playmaker. So it was very similar. Mine was just more offensive oriented, and still to this day, I still like my slashing playmaker better than the two-way slashers. So with 2K20, how we were pretty much able to shoot with any 3-point rating, and then in 2K21, you had to have a pretty high one to shoot consistently. I do think because of how the community responded to this game, where basically the playmaking shot creator is the only build you can win with at a super high competitive level, how like in every single wager everyone uses a play shot, then 2K is going to lower it similar to how it was in 2K20. Now, of course, we don't know that, right? We have no idea what 2K is going to do. But going into the game, I think 3-point rating is easily the number one thing to base your build off of. You want to have a 3-point rating and test that a lot, as much as you can. That way we can figure out, is it going to be a game like 2K20 where you can sacrifice your shooting and put much more onto your other attributes? Or is it going to be like 2K21 where you really have to have Hall of Fame shooting badges and stuff like that to shoot at a top tier level of consistency? Now, hopefully there's a demo, because that will help us a lot. You can put the settings on Hall of Fame and then really try out the shooting, and it'll give you a little bit of a taste of how it's going to be on the multiplayer. But most likely I'm going to go into, with my first build on day one, a build that is similar to my build on 2K20, where it doesn't have elite shooting, like a 95 3-point rating, like a playmaking shot creator on 2K21. It's probably going to be something that can drive and shoot at the same time, but it's not going to have great driving abilities. It's going to have better shooting and playmaking. You see what I'm saying? So most likely something sort of kind of close to a playmaking slasher. Now, we don't know what the build names are going to be or anything like that. If I get my badges day one, day two, I've got my hotspots, all that type of stuff, and I'm not shooting very consistently, we're going to have to move further up, closer to a playmaking shot creator. Then it's going to keep on testing and testing and testing. That's all it is with 2K. Every single year, we don't know the best build. It's not official, right? We don't really make an official, hey, this is the best build in the game, or something like one of the best builds, until a few months into the game when we really learn it. But right away, I'm going to be labbing every single game, going from one build to the other, if right away my 83 point isn't enough or 85 3-point isn't enough. I'm going to be tracking my percentage, and then I'm going to let you guys know what I think is the best build. But I want to find it out within the first month of the game. So most likely, I'm going to go with something that can't really slash a lot. Nothing like a pure slasher, but it's going to be able to drive and finish in the lane. At the same time, going to be able to break ankles and shoot the ball. So the name will probably be something like a playmaking slasher or a shot creating sharpshooter or a sharpshooting shot creator, you know, something like that, depending on how the names are in 2K. And then we're going to go from there. It takes a lot of testing. If you guys don't remember, in 2K20, at the very beginning, it was memed over and over because no one could shoot. No one had quick draw. Quick draw was a new thing, and that brought a lot of people to say, hey, in this game, you need a sharpshooter to be able to shoot. Then the playmaking shot creator was the build everyone was using until 2K patched the running fade, run fade, run fade. But still, everyone went to that build right away anyway because of the quick draw issue. But then later on in the year, we figured out you can shoot just fine with a 55 three-pointer. So at the beginning, don't be fooled by things like that. You know what I'm saying? Wait till the game's out for a week or two. If you guys really are only able to create like one build, you don't have enough time to grind it out, or you don't want to put a bunch of money into the game, don't make your build right away. There's no reason to just hurry and put your build into the game and then you have to make a new one just like a week or two later. You know what I'm saying? Wait for me to lab it out if you want to. Wait for other YouTubers, get a touch of the game, get a feel of it, watch people, see how they're playing, see how they're shooting in live streams, not on YouTube videos. People will try to fool you. I've told you guys that many times. They'll try to fool you and act like some builds are way better than they actually are, especially when the game first comes out, because they need to get that content out right away. So they're going to play 20 games and show you one game where they shot good and be like, yeah, this build can shoot. I'm telling you guys, man, it really can. And then you're going to be screwed over because you made that build and you wasted your VC. So that's a reason why it's good to wait. If you guys are only making one or two builds, or you only got enough VC for one, or you're going to be grinding my career to be able to get the VC to upgrade your player, don't make your build right away. You're going to be very upset most likely. The chances of you making the build that everyone's going to be using at the end of the year, or something similar to a great build at the end of the year, is very low on day one. So why don't you just wait for YouTubers like me to waste my money and then go from there? You see what I'm saying? That's also why I want to start off with a build that's got almost the top tier shooting. Of course. I mean, just think about it. If I make a playmaking shot creator with a 95 3-point rating and Hall of Fame shooting badges, I'm going to be able to shoot. But what does that tell you? It literally tells you nothing. So if you use something that's a little bit under that, it's going to give you a good feel of if you can go under it or you have to go over it to shoot efficiently. If you just start at the very top, of course you're going to be able to shoot. So I'm not going to be starting off with a playmaking shot creator, very likely. I'm not telling you guys 100% for anything. Like I told you, this build will probably not be my build 6 months later, 7 months later. It all just depends on the gameplay. Now, another huge thing that I almost forgot, is that every single year 2K does shooting patches, shooting updates. On 2K20, like I told you guys, if you missed it, at the very beginning, everyone was using a playmaking shot creator. It was a fast build with a high 3-point rating and Hall of Fame shooting badges, and you would run, fade, run, fade. They patched that. That's when everyone started figuring out, hey, you actually don't need a high 3-point rating to shoot. So you might want to wait even longer to create your build if you're only going to be able to make one throughout the year, or you think you're only going to be able to make one, because you never know what's going to happen. 2K changes things all the time, but pretty much every year the shooting is decided within the first like 2 to 3 weeks of the game being out. We know, hey, you can shoot with this build, you can't, right? If 2K changes things, that makes it a lot different with the sliders, and you know, Mike Wang's always playing DJ with the sliders, all that type of stuff. But it's not going to change dramatically, you know, because let's say you can't shoot with an 83-point rating, they make it to where you're lights out, green and everything, then there's no reason to have a playmaking shot creator that has a 95 3-point rating. There's literally no reason to make it. So especially if you start off with that type of build and they do that, you're going to be screwed, because you could have put those attributes on so many other things. Just like 2K20, how you're seeing right now. This is a tall, small forward build that didn't have a lot of shooting, but it's tall. It can defend, it can rebound, it can shoot with a low rating as long as you knew how to shoot. It can finish, it can do literally everything above average in every category. And then as well, it has Hall of Fame quick first step with the Hall of Fame playmaking badges to make up for it being like 6'7" or 6'8". I forgot how tall the build is. So there's an extremely low chance that I start off 2K22 with like a 95 3-point rated build. There's also an extremely low chance that I start off 2K22 with a build that has like a 70. So somewhere in between like 80, 85. And that, in my opinion, is the number one decision maker, the number one tested thing, the number one thing that you should lab. Hey, can I really shoot with this build with an 83-point rating? Can I really shoot consistently, cooking, off the dribble, whatever type of play style you have also changes. If you're a spot up, then maybe you can get around with having a 73-point rating, because once you get the hot spots and the corner specialist, you'll be good off dimer and all that type of stuff. But it just really depends on your play style as well. There's so many different factors for you, okay? If you're a ISO dribbler, are you going to be able to cook someone, step up real quick, maybe quick stop, whatever's in the game, and then pull that three and green it consistently? Can you do that with an 83-point rating once you get your badges and your hotspots? That's where you go from there. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let you guys know all that information. It's going to be right here. Just like with the 2K22 news, I'm going to plug you guys all year. If you're new, every year I do this. Best jump shots, best builds for your play style, what jump shot you should have, the green window on a jump shot, the speed. Is it worth it to have a higher speed or a higher green window? Everything goes together, and that will create for you your best play style. Everyone's different, but the majority of things in the game can come together and agree, you know what I'm saying? But there's a little tweaks that you can make with like jump shots and stuff like that that's going to help you be better at what you want to do versus other people. They might be doing the same thing but using different jump shots or different build, all that type of stuff. So anyway, it's your boy Badge Plug. You've been plugged in. Leave your comments down below on what build you think you're going to create, especially after this video. Maybe if it changed your mind or anything like that. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Drop a like if you haven't yet. And I'm out. Peace.